You're welcome back. You're watching TV3 New Day, and this morning we're talking about market fires. Yesterday, we heard some devastating news about a market fire that had razed down over 50 containers at the KJTR market. My colleague Ibrahim went to Kumasi to cover this disaster, and he joins us on the on Zoom actually to talk to us. He's still on site. Hello, Ibrahim. Ibrahim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good morning. What can you tell us this morning about the state of the fire site from yesterday?
Well, for now, everything is under control and traders have begun to count their losses. In fact, this morning, some are even trying to see whether they could erect the structure back so that they will be able to bounce back to business as soon as possible, because we know we are in the festive season and people will have to do everything that they can to come back to their trading activity. In fact, yesterday it was devastating to a lot of the traders. Some even monitor what was happening. Others even had to collapse. In fact, there was one woman who had to cry uncontrollably because she claimed that just 2 days ago she received some consignment from a client and she was supposed to start trading with those consignments beginning today, and yesterday everything was gone. But one worrying development that yesterday personally I witnessed, that during the fire, intermittently you'll be hearing explosion from one shop or the other, and all this was because people had cooking cylinders in their shops, and these are concerns that fire service personnel have been talking about, that people should stop cooking within our various markets. In fact, these were obstacle to even trying to douse the flame, because you couldn't predict what will happen next, what will happen in this shop, and the explosion coming left, right, and center. So those were the challenges that even delayed the fight. And also access to the place was still a problem. This place is not part of the KJTR market. In fact, it is a distance to the KJTR market. It is rather at Frenchline, close to Alaba, a portion of the redeveloped Central market. That place has not been developed yet.
Okay.
In fact, authorities are even doing everything possible to evacuate the traders and try to redevelop the place. But it has been a hell of a time for them. We don't know, maybe now that this unfortunate incident has happened, they will take advantage of it to develop it. Because one, the structures are very close to each other. Some are wooden structures, others are also metal containers. So it was easy for the fire to spread from one shop to
another. Yesterday, during your report, you said that the cause of the fire, or the source of the fire, could be a refrigerator which was left on. Has the fire service been able to confirm the source?
Well, for now, not yet, because the fire service has begun investigation into circumstances that led to the fire. So officially, they've not been able to come out with the cause of the fire. They are saying by the close of the day, maybe they'll be able to know the preliminary cause. But yesterday, they couldn't. But there were people around. In fact, one gentleman was telling me that he was around a shop at the time the fire started, and it started from a shop that was next to him. And that woman sells water. And you know, that has been the challenge. They leave the refrigerators on whether they are in or not. So they said they saw smoke coming from that shop. They thought it wouldn't escalate to that situation. But then within some few minutes, they realized the fire was coming. They tried to douse it, they couldn't. So they had to quickly rush to the fire station. Menchia to that place is like 5 minutes when you are walking. So before he gets to Menchia to inform the fire service personnel and come back, all the place has been engulfed with fire. It was just within some few minutes, and the cylinders were packed because it just exploded and the fire was just spreading from one shop to the other, and within some few minutes, more than 50 shops have been engulfed. And the fire service personnel, when they came there, all that they did was to try to make sure that the fire wouldn't spread to other shops. So that was what they did.
What we heard also is that the fire service could not finish dousing the fire because they ran out of water and they had to go and get more water and come back. Is this correct? And how long did this take?
Exactly. So the first fire tender that came there, we were told that it didn't get water in it. So another one had to come. But like I said, the issue of the challenge of accessibility to the place. So access to the place was a challenge. So the first fire vehicle that entered, the other one that came had to wait for at the main road for this one to come out before it will also be able to access the place. And we all know we have issue of hydrants. In fact, for the fire service, they say it's not necessary, even though we know they have to come with water, but they say usually hydrants are within various markets, and when they come, they will be able to tap into those hydrants and use the water to douse the flame. But here is a case where some of the hydrants, you will see that container shops have been built on it. Others too are not functioning. So the ones that they came with, as soon as they ran out of water, they have to move 10-15 meters to Bremai and other places just to be just to be able to get water and come back to the fire scene. So it was a challenge for them coming back, trying to douse the flame, going back, getting water and coming back. All those were challenges. But they think that if the water hydrants were working, that wouldn't have been a challenge for them to be able to douse the flame. But, you know, the traders couldn't also leave their job to the fire service. And so even though to the firefighters it was an obstruction, they were also picking buckets here and there, fetching water from gutter, wherever they can get any liquid form of thing. They just also use it to try to douse the flame. But within, like I said, within some few minutes, all the place was raised down and people have lost a lot when it comes to their investment. And like I said, because we are in the Christmas season, some say they had to go for loan just to be able to double production, hoping that they will be able to cash in this festive season. Only to come there.
Before you go, what are some of these traders saying about the loss and how they can recover? And have they made any requests of the government so far?
Well, they've lost everything, and all that they are looking up to government to come and support them, because, like I said, most of them say they are using loans to work. So now that they've lost everything, it will be difficult for them to bounce back to business. We had one or two traders who were able to salvage some of their belongings, but I can tell you that 98% of the victims lost almost everything. In fact, we have others who also were not.
Hello, Ibrahim. Okay, I think we've had a network challenge there, but that was my colleague.
By the fire.
Okay, he's back. Ibrahim.
Okay, so like I said, we had traders whose shop also burned, but before they got to the fire scene, they've lost everything in their shops. People also came there in the attempt to help, also stealing items. So now all that they are looking up to is for government to come and support them so that at least they will be able to bounce back to business and be able to also enjoy this Christmas.
All right. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for talking to us. Ibrahim is our colleague who's live in KJTR now, near the market sites, which caught fire. We heard about this very devastating fire yesterday near the KJTR. So the report yesterday said it was a KJTR market, but Ibrahim has just told us that it's near the KJTR market and not the KJTR market itself. With Christmas just around the corner, we have been warned about the possible, you know, the increase in fire disasters in homes and markets. We had our fire officer, King. Alex King Nate last week here in the studios, and he warned about fires caused by cooking, gas, you know those small gas cylinders which have burners on top, apparently recorded the highest number of fires in urban centers during this season. And so he gave us some tips on how to ensure that we are able to stay fire safe this Christmas season. And to think that shortly after that conversation, this happens. This happens.
It's sad. I remember that Odona in 2019 as well. There was a number of fire outbreaks there, and there were some recommendations that were made by the Ghana National Fire Service. One of them, they said they needed a helicopter to help them fight the fire from the top. I mean, constantly I've asked them what the update on that is. Nothing has been done about that, but that would have been easy, especially regarding this situation where they sent five fire vehicles and only one could access the venue or the premises at a time. One other thing that they suggested also was that for the MMDAs, when they're putting up these market structures, they should have a designated place for cooking, so that when there's fire, you can tackle that place first, because that's probably the most dangerous place, instead of having the cylinders in the various shops. That obviously has not been done as well, which is why this is happening. It's really sad. I mean, I watched some of them cry and talk about how much money they had lost, and it was heartbreaking. But let's speak to the Chief Fire Commander for the Ashanti region. Hello, sir. Good morning. Hello, sir. Good morning.
On the line, please.
Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope you're well.
I'm good, madam.
All right. Well, what is the current situation at the moment? Have you been able to douse the fire completely at the Frenchline?
Completely doused. We've completely extinguished the fire yesterday.
Okay.
In the evening at 17:38 hours.
Okay. But have you been able to ascertain the real cause of the fire?
Unfortunately, I will not be able to give you that, because our operational men and the man in charge of investigations is still conducting his investigations, and we've not been able to ascertain the cause of the fire.
I see.
As of now.
Okay, but one of the major challenges that we realized that the National Fire Service faced in trying to douse the fire was inaccessibility to the market center. And so it was difficult to have all the fire hydrants or the cars or vehicles enter the market at once to douse the fire. I mean, tell us more about that challenge and, of course, what you think should be done moving forward.
Yes, so yesterday, just like you said, the accessibility to the place was very poor. The place was congested. It was one tender at a time, and I commanded 5 fire engines. So 5 fire engines in this small area. They had to all line up as if had to all line up from the first to the last. So what it meant was that if the first one has exhausted its water, you needed more water. Then all the 4 had to come out to enable the one that was empty to go for replenishing. These were the challenges. So it never gave us the opportunity to create sectors, maybe sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, so that you could position them maybe at the northern side, the southern side, the eastern side, and the western side. We had that challenge. So accessibility was the major challenge yesterday. The second one was there was no hydrant in that particular area. So we had to move. Fire engines had to go to other places like Melcombe to go and get water. These were some of the challenges that we had. And the people around there themselves, they never gave us the opportunity to fight the fire. Some were quarreling with us, some were fighting us, a whole lot of things. And pilfering, those who came there for the purposes of pilfering, obstructions were just too many. These were the challenges that we had with them, madam.
All right. Well, we will call you back again so we can look into the future and see what can be done to assuage the situation usually in such instances. But thank you so much for speaking to us. DO1 Rashid Nisau, he's the Ashanti Regional Deputy Fire Commander. He's the one we just spoke to. Let's cross over now to Johnny for Johnny's Bites.